Yeah, good evening. Welcome, students. So now we are going to discuss about the revision for FPA1, which is third chapter. The rain, where does it come from? Third chapter. I am going to share this screen. I'm going to explain one by one. You can check. Share screen. So chapter name, rain, where does it come from? Book this. Yeah. Now it's going to start. Yes. So here are some information. It is in the introduction is them to keep an umbrella. Is an we will observe the nature of getting Yes, it is the sky. Their mother advised to them. They took that umbrella and they started to the school. To the school. Then what happened here? They started to school, wondering about how their mother was able to predict when it could rain. So they surprised. So their mother saw into the sky and she gave advice to them to keep an umbrella with them. They took and they started to the school. While they were going, it could rain. So there was a rain. So they wonder how their mother predicted before they get rain. So that is the intention. They surprise. Okay, right here, what we are learning here, before raining, we will look into the sky and what is the weather condition, we can predict it. The same thing, Ramya's and Sauma's mother, she had such a experience. She advised them to keep it, to keep them, to keep an umbrella with them. So they took it and they went to the school. That is completed. Okay, here some questions are given there. What were the questions and what are the answers to that questions we are going to discuss here. Why do we get rain? Okay, we get rain. This is a natural phenomena. It occurs in the nature naturally. So we get rains due to condensation. That word we are going to discuss. Due to condensation. Where do the rain come from? So from where it comes? Actually, it comes from the ladder. So group of the clouds we called as a ladder. So the clouds combined and it forms ladder. So when that water vapor change as a water drops, when it is heavy water drop, it fall down. That is called rain. Okay. How did mother know that it was likely to rain? So already I told to you. So we had such a experience, a previous experience before raining, how the clouds are moving and how the weather condition. Based on that, we can predict. Do all the clouds form in the sky cause rain? So this all clouds may not cause rain, but the rain we got from the clouds itself. Remember, there is some difference is there. Every day we can see some rain clouds inside in the sky, but all that clouds may not change as a rain. But when we got rain, no doubt that water came from the clouds itself. So some clouds when it forms as ladder. Yeah, good evening. Good afternoon, sir. So you are still at good afternoon. Okay, good afternoon, good evening, very good evening. Thank you for being here. So if you are a child in a sixth class, yeah, I'm fine. Thank you. Thank you very much. మీ పిల్లలు ఎవరైనా సిక్స్త్ క్లాస్ వాళ్ళు ఉంటే ఇట్ ఈస్ సిక్స్త్ క్లాస్ సిలబస్. ఇట్ ఈస్ ఫర్ ఎగ్జామ్స్. ఐఎమ్ గోయింగ్ టు ప్లీజ్ సబ్స్క్రైబ్. Sure, sure. I will. I did it. I think I I I did your channel subscription. You got it. You got it. Sure. Thank you. Thank you. If anybody is there, sixth class students, just let them watch this. They can understand how do we get the rains. సిక్స్త్ క్లాస్ స్టూడెంట్స్ ఎవరైనా ఉంటే వాళ్ళ క్లియర్గా రెయిన్ ఎలా వస్తుంది అనేది ఈ చాప్టర్లో క్లియర్ ఎక్స్ప్లెనేషన్ ఉంటుంది. బేస్డ్ ఆన్ దట్ సమ్ క్వశ్చన్స్ ఆల్సో వీఆర్ గోయింగ్ టు డిస్కస్. థ్యాంక్ యూ ఫర్ బీయింగ్ హియర్. ఓకే, హియర్ ఐఎమ్ గోయింగ్ టు ఎక్స్ప్లెయినింగ్ దిస్, రైట్? So rain is a common phenomenon like air, sunlight, and sunlight in our daily life. So generally we get the rains like how do we get the sunlight and how do we get the air in our nature? That is a common phenomenon. We generally get more rains in rainy season. Yes, it's okay. It's okay. Okay, Andy. No problem. ఉంటే యూజ్ అవుతది. లేకపోతే ప్రాబ్లమ్ ఏం లేదు. రైట్. హియర్ మా స్టూడెంట్స్ ఉంటారు. వాళ్ళే వింటారు. వాళ్ళు వన్ బై వన్ జాయిన్ అవుతా ఉంటారు. తర్వాతనే చూస్తారు. వెల్కమ్. వెల్కమ్. మోస్ట్ వెల్కమ్. So our general observation is that if the sky is cloudy, then there is a possibility of rain. So when we see the clouds in the sky, generally we think that it may be rain. Maybe rain. It must not rain. It may be rain. Padotchu. But when do we get the rain? So we get rain that all clouds come together and it forms ladder. When we see black clouds in the sky, that we call as a gray clouds also. So that clouds, more water vapors are there in that cloud. So that water vapor changes as a water. Okay, boy, and changes as a water drops and it will fall down. That is called the rain. Okay. So ladder formation we have to know in this. That is the main causes for the rain. So rain we get from the ladens itself. Ladens means a group of the clouds. So I taught clearly and I made a question also what is a laden. So you know that what is a laden. Next we are going to discuss the continuation. Some questions are there. Okay, but clouds do not lead to rain every time. Sometimes we witness sudden rain. So some clouds only causes rain, some clouds may not causes rain. There is one logic is there. What that logic? We get rains from the clouds, but all clouds are not causes rains. The clouds which gather together and it forms laden. So from that we get rains. Okay. Now here we are going to discuss about three questions here. Why do clouds cause rain? Why do clouds cause rain? So what is the reason here? Clouds cause rain because so inside the clouds water vapor is there. That water vapor change as a water due to condensation. Water vapor change as a water due to condensation. So due to condensation means here when the clouds contact with the cool air, so inside the clouds water vapor is there. That water vapor convert into water. It forms as a drops. That drops will fall down. That is called rain. So water vapor convert into water is known as a condensation. The condensation occur due to cool air. What is the relation between the rains and the clouds? So, if there are clouds, there is a possibility rain. If there are no clouds, there is no rain. But all clouds may not cause rains. So that is also one of the important. Why don't all clouds cause rain? So just now what I thought. So sometimes there are some clouds, but in that less water vapor is there. That water vapor unable to change as a water because that didn't contact with the cool air and that will not change as a water drop, that will not fall as a rain. Okay, to understand about the clouds and rain, we need to first know something about water. So we have to discuss about water itself. Here about the water, I told to you clearly, water is in three forms. Water is in three forms. All of us know that water is available in nature in three forms. So everybody know it. Water available in three forms in the nature. What is the first form? Solid form. So when we keep some water in the glass and if we keep it in the refrigerator, deep freezer, then water change as a what? Ice. Okay? Water change as ice. So that ice is a solid form. Ice is solid form. Here, the water molecules, the smallest particles of water is atoms, group of the atoms molecules. So atoms are the group of the molecules come together without any space. It becomes it gets on particular structure. So that is in that we are unable to insert our finger. That is in a solid state. Okay. Inside the ice cube, we are unable to keep finger. If we can keep our finger in the water. So because water is a liquid state. So when this ice exposed to the light, exposed to the air, it changes as water. Okay. Can we convert water into ice? Explain what we should do. Just simple. We will take some amount of water in a container. We will keep it in the cold place so that water changes as ice. That's it. Okay. What happen if ice is kept in open air? So generally water formation occur. Water we will get from the ice because when the ice exposed to the room temperature or heat, that ice melt into the water. So that change as a water. So if we heat ice, it changes into water. Water is in liquid form. Is present in a ocean, lakes, seas, rivers, in the groundwater also. Okay. Now third form we are going to discuss, that is about water vapor, gases. So what happened when the water is heated? What happened? The gaseous form of water is a water vapor which is present in the atmospheric air. So if we boil continuously water, so when it reaches up to 100 degrees Celsius, that water changes into water vapor. Steam will come out that reaches into the atmospheric air. That is a gaseous state. So ice is solid state, water is in liquid state, water vapor is in a gaseous state. We know that when ice is heated, it converts into water. If water is heated, it turns up water vapor. Similarly, when water vapor is cooled, we get back water. If water is cooled further, we will get ice also. So quite reverse. If we heat ice, change as a water. If continuously heat the water, it change as a water vapor. Okay, right? If that water vapor become cool, that change as a water. If that water, if you keep in the coldest places like the refrigerator, that water change as ice, solid form. So ice is solid, water is liquid, water vapor is a gas. So these are the three forms in the nature water. We will find water is in three forms in the nature, that is solid, liquid, gaseous state. Okay. Now, so we understand that these three forms of water are interchangeable. So interchangeable word meaning I told you. What is the meaning of interchangeable? So it changes one place to another place. So here one interchangeable means here one state to another state, solid to liquid, liquid to gases, gases to liquid, liquid to solid. Like that changes we will find. Okay, evaporation and formation of clouds. So here one of the example given there. If we kept our clothes in the open area after washing the wet clothes, after some time that wet clothes dried up. So here inside the clothes, whatever the water is there, where does it go? That water goes up as a water vapor. What happens to the water in the wet clothes when they are kept in sunlight? When we want to dry clothes quickly, we wave them about or kept them under a fan. So generally what happens due to wind or due to heat, whatever the water inside the cloth that change as a water vapor, it entered into the atmospheric air. That is a gaseous state. Okay. Water which is in the clothes, that is a liquid state, that change as a water vapor and it reaches into the atmospheric air due to the wind or due to the heat, sunlight or wind. Does the water in wet clothes dry up only due to the sunlight or due to other reasons? Not only sunlight, due to the wind also, it dried up and it changed as a water vapor. You must have seen that that water on wet roads, rooftops, and some other places dried up after some time. So here are some water drops or some water pools. After raining, if you see all roads are with wet, our house roofs, so different areas we will find some water drops. So after some time, that water drops or water pools disappear. Where does it go? That water gets heat, or that water dried up due to the wind, and it changes as a water vapor. It reaches into the atmospheric air. Where does this water go after drying up? So if we eat water kept in a bowl by using a stove, you may notice water vapor coming from the bowl. Thus, when water is heated, it converts into vapor and mix with the air. So what happened? If we boil some water in the container, extreme heat if we give to that container water, that water change as a water vapor and it reaches into the atmospheric air. The same thing in the clothes, on the road, roof, wherever the water drops are there, these all water drops changes as a water vapor due to heat and due to the wind. Okay. What happens to the water in wet to close? That water changes as a water vapor. So here, what is evaporation? The question I asked you. So this embossed letters, black embossed letters. Here you can check. So these, okay. So this is the process of water changing into water vapor is called evaporation. What is evaporation? This is the definition. The process of water changing into water vapor. So here, water is in liquid state, water vapor is in solid gas state. So liquid state to gas state if changes, that is called evaporation. Okay. What is evaporation? Means the process of water changing into water vapor. So water is in liquid state, water vapor is in gas state. So that's what it is called evaporation. If water is gently heated, it will become warm. Some vapor is produced. If it is heated more, it starts boiling. If we heat it further, it evaporates and converts completely into water vapor. Okay. So that water slowly gets heated. This water slowly it changes as a water vapor until the bottom to top, the total amount of water when it gets 100 degrees Celsius, the total water convert into water vapor, it reaches into the atmospheric air. Some vapor is produced. Okay. We know that the amount of heat absorbed by water affects its evaporation. If water is heated more, it will be evaporate fast. So if more water is there, more heat is required. If less water is there, less heat is required. But if we continuously heat the water, so continuously water change as a water. So how much heat is there? So based on the heat, more amount of water evaporation occurs. So more amount and it also faster. You might have observed evaporation in many situations in day-to-day life. Discuss with your friends and prepare a list. So where evaporation occur? So wherever we use water, after some time that water disappear. In that all locations, evaporation is there. Like washed clothes, washed vehicles, washed floor. Okay. Then uh, after raining roads, roof, wherever the water drops are there, that water vapor are that all water drops evaporate. That is okay, evaporation. These are all examples. So many places in rivers, lakes, canals, well, borewell, everywhere. Where does this water vapor go after? So already we discussed that water vapor reaches into the atmospheric air. It is a part of air. Okay. The water vapor which enters into air through the process of evaporation forms clouds. So that forms clouds. How are clouds formed? The water vapor. This is okay. The the water vapor which entered into the air through the process of evaporation forms clouds. So how clouds are formed means you can write this process. Okay. What is a cloud? Cloud is the water vapor in the atmospheric air. Cloud is the water vapor in the atmospheric air. So it forms due to evaporation. How are clouds formed? Clouds formed due to the evaporation. Water gets heat and it changes as evaporated and it entered into the atmosphere. Okay, this is called these are this evaporated water forms clouds. Condensation. It is a common experience that on cold winter morning when we speak, we observe smoke like vapor coming out of our mouth. So here, this kind of experience we also maybe we had in the winter morning. If we speak in front of our mouth, we will find some smoke like structures. So what is that? From our mouth, hot air is coming. In the atmospheric air, water vapors are there. Water vapors are there. Sorry, in the atmospheric air, it is very cool. Water drops are there. Water drops are there. Small water drops. When the hot air contact with the small water drops in the atmospheric air, that water drops convert as a water vapor. It appears as a cloud in front of our mouth. Remember, don't forget. Why do we get clouds in front of our mouth in the winter? So, what is the reason? In the air, small water drops are there. So, that is in winter season. So, that small water drops. So, when we are speaking from our mouth, hot air is coming. That hot air contact with the water drops which are in the atmospheric air. That water drops convert as a water vapor. It appears as a smoke in front of our mouth. That is the reason. So why do we get a cloud-like structure in front of our mouth in winter season means that is the reason. Hot air which is coming out of our mouth, it contact with the cool water drops which are in the atmospheric air. That water drops change as a water vapor. It appears as a smoke in front of our mouth. That is okay. You might have observed that during mornings in winter, some fog is formed and small dew drops appear on grass leaves of the plants. Small drops. So what is that? Due to the cool air, whatever the water vapor in the atmospheric air, that water vapor due to condensation, that water vapor convert into water and it reaches down and it falls on the leaves of grass. Okay. Here condensation process. See here, what is condensation? So activity one. In this process, what we are doing, take some amount of water in the glass and add some ice cubes inside that water. So what will happen? That water gets cool and that glass body also becomes cool. So outside surface of that glass, whatever the air contact means which attached to that surface of the glass, then what happened in that air, water vapor is there. That water vapor due to this cool change as a water and it forms water drops outer surface of the glass. So the air which is contact with that cool glass, in that cool in that in that air that water vapor is there. That water vapor due to this coolness change as a water drops that will fall on the glass outer surface. So that water vapor convert into water is called condensation. So here you can see how these how are these drops formed. That is due to condensation. Answer is a condensation. Do drops form if there is no ice in the glass? No, drops will not form if there is no ice in the glass because ice makes that the glass surface cool. So here this is the process of conversion of water vapor into water is called condensation. So previous what we discussed, Previous water change as a water vapor evaporation. Here water vapor convert into water is called condensation. So that is the difference between the evaporation and the condensation. Evaporation and the condensation, right? Now about clouds we discussed already. Water change as a water vapor, it reaches into the atmospheric air, it forms as a cloud. See, clouds and rain. On a warm day, the sun heats up the ground as well as the water in a seas, oceans, rivers, ponds, etc. This water convert into water vapor by the process of evaporation, right? This water vapor rises up into the atmosphere as it is lighter than air. When we move away from the surface of the earth, the air becomes cool. So generally when that air reaches the up, that becomes cool. Okay. When the water vapor reaches the higher level, it condenses due to contact with the cool air. So at high level, cool air is there. This water vapor contact with the cool air, then automatically that water vapor change as small water drops. Okay. These tiny drops remain floating in the air at higher level of the atmosphere and appears as a cloud. So the small drops we will find as a clouds at the higher level. Okay. Clouds in kitchen. Already this we discussed about. What is the clouds in kitchen? So when your mother is going to prepare rice or something, she is going to boil. In that container, whatever the water is there, that water it gets heat and it changes as a water vapor. It reaches into the top level. If we use the lid, so that water vapor stuck under the lid. If we remove that lid with a cloth or plucker, if we apply ice the top side or if you pour cold water, then automatically what happened? Those ఇట్రా వర్షం వస్తుంది చూడు. Okay, this is about when బయట rain. The cloud form on the surface of the different water bodies do not stay there. They start to come from one place to another in the wind direction. So here, what it says, when the clouds formation occur, that clouds will not stay in a particular place itself. That moves along with the wind, where it becomes cool. Inside the clouds, what are there? Small water drops are there. So 3, 4 clouds join together. Okay, that we call as a ladder. Already I told you, ladder, where it is the word somewhere. Where we are getting okay, some logs. So that the change as a the ladens change as a rain. Just a minute, I will keep the vehicle inside. Okay. Dark cloud gathering. Here, gathering word means two or three, more clouds are contacting each other and it forms ladder. Okay. Hi, hi, Tulsi, hi. So this ladder condensation occur and it change as a water drops. It will fall down as a rain. So last word hailstone is there. What is hailstone means? When too much cool, when too much cool, if you find in the atmosphere that the water vapors change as water and sometimes that water change as ice. Okay, that like small ice stones will stones like rain we will get, that is called hailstone. That is called hailstone. Okay, here monsoons, about we discussed monsoons. There are two types of monsoons we discussed. June to September. Okay, one monsoon. What is that? Southwest monsoon. Southwest monsoons, because June to September winds from the west to south blow. This is called southwest monsoon. So next November and December months. Okay, northeast monsoons. Okay, east to north winds blow. This is called northeast monsoons. So here we asked about. Okay, okay. So here southwest monsoons, northeast monsoons. So June to September, that is wind from west to south. November and December, east to, okay, northeast. This is east to north, that is west to south. So these two kind of winds we call two monsoons. First monsoon is southwest monsoon. Southwest monsoon. Second one is a northeast monsoon. Okay, right? So here, what is water cycle? So already I told to you what is water cycle means. The alternate process of evaporation and condensation is called water cycle. So here evaporation due to the sunlight, that becomes cool. Condensation, it falls as a rain. Again it reaches into the water body. Again due to the sunlight, that water gets heat, evaporation occur and condensation occur. We get rain. So this is alternate process, evaporation and condensation. So the alternate process, alternate means one after one. Evaporation and condensation. Here, the circulation of water into water vapor by the evaporation, water vapor to cloud and cloud to rain by the condensation. This is known as a water cycle. So this continuation process matter, alternate, one after one. Okay, these are all the questions we are going to discuss. Now I am going to explain in the short form. Deforestation, about deforestation, we need more plantation. If we cut the trees, so condensation will not occur in the nature, we will not get the rain. So that's what save the trees and get the rain. So slogan you can note down. How are clouds formed? Explain. So clouds are formed due to the evaporation, okay, and condensation. So evaporation, first water change as a water vapor that reaches high level of the atmosphere and it will contact with the cool air and it forms clouds. When it becomes too much cool, then it change as a rain. Okay, that is. In which form does the water from clouds reaches from water? In which forms does the water from clouds reaches the earth? So from the clouds reaches to the earth, that is in the liquid form, because as a water drops it will fall down, so that is a liquid form. When do clouds become cool? When the clouds reaches high level of the atmosphere that contact with the cool air, then that becomes cool. Explain the relationship between the heat of the sunlight and evaporation. If more heat is there, more evaporation is there. So heat based on the heat, evaporation depends. So if more heat, more evaporation. Less heat, less evaporation. So that is perpendicular. What do we call? Equal. Okay. Why do we experience clouds like smoke near our mouth while we speak during the winter season? Already I told to you, outside atmosphere is cool in the winter. That is especially in the morning itself. When we speak from our mouth, hot air will come. So hot air contact with the cool air which is in front of our mouth. In that cool air, small water drops are there. That water drops change as a water vapor. It appears as a smoke. So hot air coming from mouth contact with the cool air which is in front of our mouth. In that cool air, small water drops are there. That water drops change as a water vapor. It appears as smoke. Correct the given sentence if necessary. Okay, some sentences are given here. If the size of the water drop decrease in the cloud, then they can no longer hold the water drop. So it is a wrong. Actually, when the size of the water drop increases in the cloud unable to bear, then that water drop will fall down. If it is a small water drop, we will not get the rain. Okay. So that is a wrong statement. Which of the following days is a more suitable for a drying of washed clothes? Explain why. Windy day, cloudy day. Windy day. So if more wind is there, automatically that water gets evaporation and it dry up soon. Which of the following statement are right or wrong? Evaporation takes place quickly when more heat is applied. Yes. If more heat is there, more evaporation is there. For condensation of water should be cooled. Yes, it should be cooled. So water vapor should be cool, then condensation occur as a water drop. Okay. So water vapor change as a water, that is called condensation here. So cool important. Weather should be cool. Water vapor is obtained from water by evaporation. Water vapor is obtained from water by, yes, correct. Water change as a water vapor by the evaporation. Hmm. Draw a, draw a diagram which explain the water cycle. So I showed to you water bodies, evaporation, sunlight, cloud, rain. Okay. So this water cycle you have to draw the picture. How do you feel when you see a rainbow? Explain your feeling in the form of a song or poem. Rain, rain, go away, rain, go away. Anataga. So rainbow, it has a different colors, look like a, so you can write any one of the poem, it should be meaningful. Clouds once see at a particular point may not be there after some time. Why? Clouds move always along with the wind, so that is the reason it cannot stay in a particular place. That is the reason. Clouds are light weight that flow along with the wind. Next, Revant blow air from his mouth on the mirror while he was getting ready to go school. Ah, he observed that the image in the mirror was not clear. Why do you think it has become so? What is the reason? When he blow the air onto the mirror surface, actually that mirror is cool. Okay, from our mouth, hot air contact with that cool mirror. So whatever the water, small drops are there in the atmospheric air, that change as water drops. Okay, here if cool air, condensation. If hot air, that is evaporation. Then it becomes uncool, unclear. Okay, generally in the winter season, unclear because of hot air which is coming from our mouth, the water drops, small water drops which are on the surface of the mirror, so that makes unclear. If it is raining in a village, you do not find rain in another village. Why do you think it is happening so? So that is due to evaporation, condensation, and wind. So in a particular areas, if the clouds become cool due to the cool air, if there are more plantation is there, at that high level, the air becomes very cool. That air makes clouds condense and water drops will fall down as a rain. That is a climatical condition situation. It's depend on that climatical condition. If condensation fails to occur in nature, what happens in water cycle? We will not get rains because if there is no condensation, water vapors cannot change as a water drops, it will not fall down as a rain. So why does the driver of a vehicle wipe the glass inside even if the wiper is working on the outer surface of the glass when he drives in rain? So what happened? Outside is cool, inside is hot. Okay, because due to the engine heat, due to we breathe out the air in that hot air is there. So that hot air when it contact with the cool glass, then automatically in that whatever the small water drops are there, that small water drops change as a small water vapors change as a water drops. Sorry, small water drops change as a water vapor, and it makes unclear. So he has to wipe inside that. So here also condensation and evaporation based on that. Generally in the rainy season, there inside the glass there is a evaporation is there. Okay, if we arrange the cool AC inside that, then automatically outside and inside cool, so that glass becomes clear. These are all questions I gave you. I tried my level best to explain. Okay, get ready for the exam tomorrow. Thank you. Good night. Bye bye. Okay. See you the next day. Bye bye.